Before humans built cities, before history was written in stone, there was only ice, hunger, and survival. 20,000 years ago, during the last great ice age, the world was a frozen empire. Winds howled across endless white plains, snow buried forests, temperatures plunged without mercy. Food was scarce. Every day was a test, every night a gamble. In this brutal world walked two legends. One was a mountain of muscle and fur, the woolly mammoth. Towering over 13 feet tall and weighing up to 6 tons, it carried curved tusks longer than a man is tall. Thick brown fur and layers of fat shielded it from the killing cold. Its trunk, powerful and precise, could lift logs, clear snow, or strike with devastating force. When a herd moved together, the ground trembled beneath them. The other was silence in motion, the Saber-Tooth, a predator built not for long chases, but for perfect strikes. Its forelimbs were thick with muscle, its claws curved like hooked knives, and from its jaws extended 2 long dagger-like fangs designed to pierce deep and end a fight quickly. It did not waste energy. It waited, it watched, it chose its moment. Winter tightened its grip on the tundra. Prey grew thin. Hunger sharpened instincts into desperation. A mammoth herd pushed forward through waist-deep snow, calves protected in the center, adults forming a living wall of fur and tusk. They moved slowly but deliberately, sweeping snow aside to uncover frozen grass beneath. From a ridge above, golden eyes studied them. The Saber-Tooth crouched low, its breath barely visible in the cold air. It did not see a herd, it saw opportunity. A young mammoth strayed just slightly from the protective circle, only a few steps, but in the Ice Age, a few steps could mean death. The predator moved. It slipped down the slope like a shadow, each paw silent against the snow. Muscles coiled, distance closed. Then it exploded forward. The herd reacted instantly. Trumpets shattered the quiet tundra. Snow erupted as massive bodies shifted into defense. The young mammoth stumbled, panic in its wide eyes. But before the Saber-Tooth could reach its target, a towering adult stepped between them. The mammoth charged. 6 tons of unstoppable force surged across the frozen ground. The Saber-Tooth twisted aside at the last heartbeat, narrowly escaping being crushed. The mammoth's tusks carved through empty air. This would not be easy. The Saber-Tooth circled, searching for weakness. The mammoth pivoted, but its immense size slowed each turn. The predator darted in, claws raking across thick fur. Beneath that fur lay inches of fat and muscle, protection against both cold and teeth. The mammoth swung its tusks again. The Saber-Tooth leapt back, snow spraying around it. The two locked eyes, ancient instinct meeting raw power. The predator lunged once more, this time aiming higher. Claws sank into the mammoth's flank. With a surge of strength, it pulled itself upward, jaws opening wide. Those legendary fangs drove down. The mammoth bellowed, a deep, echoing roar that rolled across the tundra. Pain rippled through its massive body. Blood darkened the snow beneath them. But giants do not fall easily. With a violent twist, the mammoth hurled its weight sideways. It slammed its enormous body against a frozen boulder. The impact crushed air from the Saber-Tooth's lungs and forced it loose. The predator dropped heavily into the snow. For a moment, both stood wounded and breathing hard. Snow began to fall again, soft and quiet, as if the world itself were holding its breath. The Saber-Tooth knew it could not endure a prolonged fight. Its fangs, though deadly, were fragile. A single direct blow could snap them and end its life. It needed one final, perfect strike. It darted low, aiming for the mammoth's legs, crippled the giant, and the battle would be over. But exhaustion had slowed them both. The mammoth anticipated the move. With a sudden surge of strength, it swung its massive tusk in a wide arc. The tusk connected. The saber-tooth was lifted off the ground and thrown through the air before crashing into the snow several yards away. It lay still, the fight drained from its powerful frame. Silence returned to the frozen plains. The mammoth stood trembling, sides heaving, blood staining its fur. Slowly, painfully, it turned and limped back toward its herd. The calves pressed close. The adults closed ranks once more. Together, they moved on across the endless white horizon. In that moment, the mammoth had survived. But survival in the Ice Age was never permanent. Every wound carried risk. Infection, weakness, starvation, any could claim even the strongest giant. And though the saber-tooth had fallen today, others still roamed the frozen wilderness. In truth, there were no permanent winners in this world. The Ice Age ruled them all. Years would pass, storms would come and go, generations would rise and fall, and eventually, both Mammoth and Saber-Tooth would vanish from the earth, not locked in battle, but claimed by shifting climates and the slow, relentless march of time. Yet their struggle remains frozen in our imagination, a clash of strength and strategy, power against precision, fury against endurance. In a world of ice and hunger, only the ruthless survived, and even they could not survive forever.